What is up, everybody? It is your boy. Happy Tuesday to everybody. It is election day in the United States of America, so go out and vote. It's your right. It's super windy out here today. So and because of the election, the schools are in this neighborhood. A lot of people are walking and riding their bikes and their golf carts and whatnot up to the school. So there's just a lot of traffic on the walking trail. I tried to start shooting a video on the walking trail. I'm getting interrupted by golf carts and bicyclists every 3 seconds, so I decided to find a spot to sit down. Unfortunately, it's along the road, so it's going to be a little bit loud, but anyway, it is what it is. So tonight, we got the second college football playoff rankings coming out, I think at around 7 o'clock again. So I will be live already for the ACC show at 7 o'clock with me and your boy C-Dog. So we'll do like we did last week. The first, 15 or 20 minutes of the show, we will watch and discuss the latest playoff rankings, and then we'll move on with the show like we normally do. So everyone go check that out. But what I like to do every single Tuesday at this time of year is my predictions of what the rankings are going to be tonight. I like to do that each week during the ranking shows. Some people like to give you what they think they should be. I like to try to predict what these jabronis in the committee room are going to do. And last week, I got to say, I got to pat myself on the back here. Yeah, I did pretty good. Surprisingly, I got a couple teams flip-flop, but for the most part, I hit the nail on the head with my predictions last week. So I was happy with that. We'll see if I can do the same thing tonight. There's going to be a big shake-up in the rankings today. So let's see how close I can get. Now, of course, like always, I want you to give me your predictions as well. You don't have to give me your top 10 like I'm going to give you, but at least give me the top 4 or 5 and just leave it in the comments section. And we'll see who's closest here. All right, so a lot of top teams lost, right? Clemson got smoked by Notre Dame. Tennessee got smoked by Georgia. Alabama lost to LSU. I feel like I'm missing somebody. Anyway, you get the point. So Georgia's going to be number 1. Last week they had Georgia 3 and Ohio State 2. Ohio State had a struggle bus win against a 1-8 Northwestern team. And guess what? Kind of like today, it was really windy. I didn't know if you knew that. But anyway, I think Georgia will jump Ohio State in the rankings based on their dominant performance over the number 1 team previously in the country in Tennessee. I think that goes without saying. So Georgia 1, Ohio State will be 2. Michigan 3. Coming in at number 4, I'm going to say it's going to be TCU. We're running out of undefeated teams here. And for right now, TCU is still sitting there undefeated in the Big 12. They got a big game this weekend against Texas. Big 12 is a hot mess right now because there's still a few teams in the mix here, and this game this weekend for TCU is paramount. But nonetheless, undefeated, TCU at 4. Coming in at number 5, I think they'll probably drop Tennessee down to 5 from 1. It's debatable whether they should drop farther or not, but if they thought a week ago that they were the number 1 team in the country, I don't see them saying that they're not at least a top 5 team a week later, no matter what happened on the field. So give me Tennessee at 5, or not me, I think that's what they're going to do. Coming in at number 6, yeah, Oregon. Is Oregon the best 1-loss team in the country? Many people believe, yes, they are. According to my ranking, or my prediction of the rankings here, a lot of people, that would corroborate that. Well, actually it wouldn't, because Tennessee would be the best 1-loss team in the country if they're ranked 5, huh? Yeah, well, I think Oregon would probably beat Tennessee on a neutral field. But as far as the playoff committee goes, I don't think they're willing to drop Tennessee out of the top 5 just yet. So that's the reason I think that even though Oregon might be favored against Tennessee on a neutral field, they won't be ranked ahead of Tennessee this week. So give me Oregon at 6. 7, 8, 9, and 10, very, very difficult to figure out. You got LSU sitting there with 2 losses, in control of the SEC West with a big win over Alabama. You got Alabama with 2 losses. You've got both the UCLA and Southern Cal both sitting there with 1 loss in the Pac-12. Who am I missing here? I feel like I'm missing somebody. Anyway, so let's move on to number 7. I think you'll see a flip-flop. Last week they had Southern Cal ranked 1 spot ahead of UCLA. I think they're going to flip-flop this week. And the reason I think that is because UCLA had a more dominant win. They both played bad teams this weekend. They both played 3-win teams. But UCLA was more dominant in their win, so I think they'll just nudge ahead of USC barely in that. So give me UCLA at 7 and Southern Cal at 8. That would put the first 2-loss team, I think, will come in at number 9, and that's LSU. And then I predict that number 10 is going to be, number 10 is extremely difficult to figure out. I want to say it would be Alabama. I think it's either going to be Alabama or Clemson. I know the AP has Clemson all the way at 12, but sort of the same line of thinking that I had about Tennessee is that if the committee really believed that Clemson was a top 4 team just a week ago, I have a feeling they're going to have a hard time going from the top 4 spot to out of the top 10. And they were ranked a couple of spots ahead of Alabama to begin with last week. They both lost. Obviously, Clemson's loss was worse and to a worse team. Well, that's debatable, but whatever. Their loss was worse. So for that reason and that reason only, I'm going to have Clemson at 10 instead of Alabama. I want to reiterate here that this is not my, this is not what I want to see happen or think should happen. This is what I think is going to happen. So don't come on here and tell me, oh, Pete, Clemson ain't no top 10 team, stop it. Look, I'm not the committee. I'm Pete. So I think the committee's going to have them in top 10. So that's all it is. We can have a discussion later about where I think Clemson should be positioned in the pantheon of the college football world right now. So anyway, that's it. I don't have it written down, so off the top of my head, let me try to recap this real quick for all the people in the back who didn't hear. All the people in the back, too, make sure you hit the thumbs up and subscribe button because I do these college football videos and live streams year-round, not just during football season. So I said, what did I say? I said they're going to have Georgia, then Ohio State, then Michigan, then TCU, then Tennessee, then Oregon, then UCLA, then USC, then LSU, then Clemson. There's your top 10. We'll see how close I am. This is a tough week to figure out. Of course, I want to hear from you. See y'all tonight at 7 o'clock. Have a great day. Go vote. Go vote.